Good afternoon. It is February 25th, 2024, and it's the second Sunday of the Lenten season. And today we listen to the story of Abraham and God's request that he sacrifice his son Isaac. And so Abraham takes Isaac to the mountain and prepares to sacrifice his son, the son he loved. And because of his trust in God, because of his faith in God, God blessed Abraham and his people. He gave Abraham descendants more numerous than the stars in the sky, the sand on the seashore. And then the people forgot their blessings. And the people forgot to recognize their blessings. But our story of Abraham and Isaac stands in juxtapose to God and Jesus. Because God sent his son into the world to be sacrificed for our salvation. The greatest blessing that each of us can have is eternal life with God. And so Jesus suffered and died so that you and I might have that great blessing of eternal life. But similarly to Abraham's descendants, we have a tendency to fall away. We have a tendency to forget our blessings. We have a tendency to forget to count our blessings or acknowledge them. During the Lenten season, one of the things that we're invited to do is become reflective, to take some time in meditation, take some time in contemplation, be reflective. And part of that reflection is to look at our own lives. And do I count my blessings? Do I recognize my blessings? And oftentimes we take way too much for granted. If I went into your house and I started going through your closets or your drawers or your cubby holes or your storage places, what would I find? And how much of what I found is used anymore? Or is it just stored away? Or waiting for the rainy day? I always love it when you talk to people about what's in their closet and they're going, well, I have this outfit, this whatever. And I'm looking forward to the day when I can fit in it again. Really? You really think you're going to fit in it again? Well, God bless you, and hopefully it will turn out that way. But more often than not, we hang on to stuff and we hang on to stuff. And the idea of the closed closet or the chest of drawers is a simple one. But I was sitting with a family, a couple, going over what they wanted for their funeral. Now, they're not even close to death. They're just planning ahead because their kids don't go to church anymore. And so they want their Catholic funeral, but they want these readings, this music, and that kind of thing. And, they're living hope that their kids will one day return to the church and all that. But at the same time, they're planning ahead. But in our conversations, one of the things that they brought up was they have all of this stuff. They have a beautiful home. They have a well-appointed home. They have a lot of stuff. And their thing is like, but who's going to take it when they die? Is anybody going to be interested in what's hanging on their walls? And I find it very interesting at times because one of the things that we do here in the parish is that when somebody passes away, if there are religious things in the house, statues, paintings, whatever, that the family doesn't want to keep, then we invite them to drop them off here at the church, and we then offer them to the schools. Each one of the classrooms has a prayer corner. Each one of the teachers is allowed to come and pick through what is here and add it to their prayer corner. You don't want to see things like that thrown away. And in our society today, we have a great tendency to sanitize our homes, where at one time, the picture of the Last Supper would hang in every dining room, or the Sacred Heart of Jesus or the Immaculate Heart of Mary would be hanging in the house. Or there'd be a statue of Mary over in the corner, or the statue of the Sacred Heart. But nowadays I walk into people's homes and very rarely do you even find a picture of their wedding day. And sometimes you don't even find pictures of their children. We sanitize the home. And I find that very sad. The home is the domestic church. In our churches, we have stained glass windows, we have statues, we have images of Mary and Joseph and Jesus. We have the family of God. In the domestic church, where is the family? And is the family connected to God? Where do you find the holy picture in the house? And oftentimes, because of this sanitization, we get things dropped off here at the church. And you try and find a good home for it. Some place where people will appreciate that beauty, that art, that constant reminder of Christ that should be in our homes. If we say that we love God above all things, then where is his image? Because I don't know about the rest of you, but you know what? Most of us are tactile. If we don't have an image in front of us, if we don't have a constant reminder, we have a tendency to forget. We have a tendency not to remember. And so the challenge that we have is, where are the remembrances? Where are the things that take us back to our relationship with God? This Lenten journey is an invitation to reflect on that. What in my house says that God resides here? What in my home says that God is welcome here? What in my home tells those who come into my house that I'm a Catholic and proud of it? Too often and not, we've sanitized. During the Lenten reflection, it's not just about me that we have to reflect on. We also have to reflect on how my way of living, what kind of model is it? How good a model is it? And how do I make it better? We have these 40 days, the gift. Every year they come around, every year they come around, every year they come around. Why? Because we need to be reminded. If we're not reminded to work on relationship with Jesus, would we? And so we have this Lenten journey, an opportunity to reflect on my walk with God, an opportunity to reflect upon my relationship with God, an opportunity to reflect on the fact that Jesus, Son of God, suffered and died, rose from the dead, so I might have eternal life. Unlike Abraham, who didn't have to sacrifice his son, the Father sacrificed the Son for you and I, so that we might spend eternity with him. It is February 25th, 2024. It is the second Sunday of Lent. Our journey is upon us. How are we journeying? Only you can reflect on that. Take your time. Be still and know God.